Alright guys, on today's episode of Oli Oli Paints, we're gonna go ahead and just go through painting two bumpers. I'll show you the two colors that I've got going on, and this one's gonna get kind of interesting. It's not my favorite color, so let's get into it. Alright, like I said, I've got two bumpers. This is a Ford Focus, and this is paint code Z9, which is blue candy. If you know anything about this color, it's sitting right out there. I'll show you in a second. If you know anything about this color, it's just, it either matches or it doesn't, right? And then this is off, I believe, a Hyundai Accent. Either an Accent or a Sonata or something. It's just a red. And this one right here, because this is actually a camera scan off that car, because this car is so faded, but the camera nailed it, so we're gonna go with that. And then this is the blue candy. This is one of my least favorite colors. I like the way it looks, but I don't know why on God's green earth they put this color on a Ford Focus. Like, it has no business being a three-stage blue. It's absolutely silly. So anyway, let me go. We're gonna mix up GS907, which is like a mid-gray sealer. I'm gonna use that on both those covers, and we'll get into this. And just for giggles here, the one on top is standard. This is what the camera picked right here. The second one, look how a million miles off. This is the one that we're going with, which is standard. I'm going with two coats. Taking it outside, it looks a lot better, and you get the actual flip and flop of this color, because I don't know if you guys could tell on camera, but any which way you walk around this color, it changes. And when I taped this on there, walked around it outside, this two coat standard is the move. So I'm gonna go mix up some sealer and we'll get in the booth. Okay, really fast. Bro, check out, I don't know if y'all can even see, check out this suit, right? This is a Segola anti-static coverall. It's got cuffed ends here, so you're not dragging on the ground. The pockets just open up and go right to your own pants pockets, both sides. Got a nice little Segola down the leg right there. I'm not gonna lie, favorite suit, hands down. It's really light, so if you're in a hot booth, you're not gonna die of heat exhaustion. It's just comfy, man. Plus it's got a, you know, it's got a nice hood on it. It's not too friggin' big. The problem I have with a lot of suits, like I'm 6 foot tall, about 210. The problem I have is a lot of times right in my midsection, you know, my dad bod, it's really, really tight. This is an extra large, fits perfectly. So I'm gonna put these in my little link tree thing. So if you guys need a paint suit coverall, these Segola ones, dude, these, and then in the wintertime when it's cooler and colder outside, the Luma 3 ones are fantastic as well. They also fit really good. My problem with those is, again, the ends. I know they've got Velcro on them, but I always end up getting ones that are too long and they drag. This doesn't drag. These Segolas are definitely my favorite. All right, are we recording? Yes, ma'am, we are. I got some sealer mixed up. I just need to rub my little air regulator off this gun for a minute. I got a disaster going on in here, guys, I ain't gonna lie. Okay, we are going to use the Kwame 4, like I always do, for sealer, because I like the way this thing lays sealer down, man. All right, we're gonna bust out the static gun. These, I'm warning y'all right now, these are both aftermarket. Y'all already know how that goes, so I had to use my little jitterbug sander and Sky 600 grit paper, smooth them out. So I'm hoping that these look okay with some sealer on them. If not, this is gonna be a repeat. I already had to spend my morning fighting this blue color, so that was fun. That red one I ended up getting first try, but the blue is just, ugh. I really just don't like this body style Ford Focus. There's just something about them. I don't like them. Those new dual clutch transmissions that these cars have are such garbage. I'm surprised, honestly, that there's even cars on the road with that transmission in it. Alright, that one's ready. I'm gonna move this thing all the way back. Out of my way. Yeah, both of these are aftermarket bumpers. Both straight from China, Taiwan, wherever they come from. So you know they're garbage, but your insurance company at work, you know. Plus, both of these are pretty old cars, so I mean, I get it. If I owned one of these, I'd probably put an aftermarket cover on it too, but I just don't like painting them because they suck. The way they apply the primer, I mean, just it sucks. I don't mean to be complaining too much, but okay, let's get some sealer on these and then we'll see if these covers look okay or not. I'm gonna go about 24 psi. Yeah, 24 and a half. It's usually where I like this gun. Let's get into it. I'm really thankful for all the feedback that I've been getting as I've been uploading more on this YouTube page, because you know it really does take a lot of work, not only to film it. I mean, I can film stuff, not a problem, but the editing portion for YouTube stuff, this long format, definitely takes a lot of time out of my day. And if you have kids like I do, man, you know how valuable your time is. But you know, I'm just a dad with a dream. I want to get more people in this industry, more people feeling confident about painting their own stuff, you know, and just try to help people. This is what I enjoy doing. My kids, they both think I'm famous because of social media. It's kind of funny. When I started this, I didn't think that my TikTok and my Instagram would grow like it did, but man, these bumpers are actually looking okay. Like, they're not, this isn't 100% perfect, but it's just the texture that is in that primer. I even sanded it with 600 and it's still, I'm not gonna mess with it though. I'm gonna just leave it how it is because it's pretty smooth. But anyway, yeah, when I started doing this, you know, I was a photographer first, and I just kind of stepped into video, making these paint videos. Is what I like, and it just kind of took off. I mean, it's freaking wild to me that people all around the world have seen my videos and have interacted with me online, and I get support from everywhere. It's awesome. I already see a couple of spots here that I'm going to want to sand a little bit. Not a big deal. Yeah, this bumper, other than those two little spots, and I'll show those to you in a second. But yeah, man, when I started on this journey, this was a buddy of mine in my old shop was just like, dude, you need to make TikTok videos of you painting cars. I'm like, well, that kind of sounds a little lame because YouTube's where it's at. And he's like, no, dude, just make them. Just try it. Why not? And I did, and I really like the fact that, like, when somebody asks a question on there, I can easily answer it by replying. I wish YouTube would kind of implement that a little bit, you know, the replies, because it would make it a lot easier. Alright, so the only spot that I've seen on this whole bumper, and I knew this was going to be a thing, but there's like a little spot right here. There was just some chunks. I'm sure you guys could probably see that. Not a big deal. Like the last time, I'm just going to take a little bit of 800 on that soft pad, scuff the edge, and we're good. This other one looks alright. I mean, it looks like an aftermarket cover, but that's fine. It's all fine. It'll be alright unless it's not. But yeah, this journey has just been crazy, man, and I've been way more motivated lately to really push hard on the YouTube stuff, so that's why I'm just trying to make something happen with it. By the way, if any of you guys are planning to go to Vegas for the SEMA show, I'll be there I fly in like Tuesday evening. I'll be with Saucy Painter. If you guys don't follow him, for the love of God, go follow him. He's the best. But I'll be with Alfred, Saucy Painter. I'm gonna meet up with Brian, Paint Society, all those guys. So you're probably going to see more content at the SEMA show with all those boys. And yeah, if you're gonna be there, let me know. We'll meet up, maybe get a beer or something, get some dinner, hang out. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go mix some more color. You can see I've got a disaster over here I need to clean up real quick while this is all drying. So I'm gonna go do that, get my color all ready. We'll get in here, get our base coat color on this blue. That one's gonna be simple. All I've gotta do, wet on wet, drop it, color's good. This one, I've gotta get the base ground coat color of blue on, let that dehydrate, and then come in with the candy layer, and I've got to do 2 coats of that in order for it to match. So yeah, we'll just get into that, and then we'll cross our fingers that this bumper looks okay to that car, because I mean, you see in the spray out card it should be pretty good, and outside, like I had mentioned, it was solid. So I'll turn y'all back on. Oh, I got a sticker on my foot. I'll turn y'all back on when I've got color and the gun's ready to rock. Okay, so I've got paint mixed up. What I'm going to do now is grab a piece of lemon paper. A little stash in the back here. I'll hide it. Hopefully my body techs don't watch my YouTubes. But I just got lemon paper. It's just that Kovac stuff you guys know I like. And we're gonna quickly sand that area I showed you. This is that little hand pad. I like them because you just stick it to the back and then it just kind of gives you an interface. But it's just right here. It's nothing major. Just a little sand. Make sure it's nice and smooth. I always like to sand it, and then I'll get my tack rag. Just like so. And we are going to hit this with a little bit of base coat blender like before. Just so that way it... There we go. That way it'll fill the little sand scratch. I gotta make sure, there it is. Made sure my microphone was on. Alright. So a little quick spritz of this. And again, if you leave it in the booth, purge it. Like so. I just need a little bit, right? So we'll stack it. That's all I need. Something to fill that 800 grit, and we're good. We're gonna start on this blue bumper anyway. Again, guys, I'm using the Eastwood, same as the last video. This is that CC500. And again, if y'all need one of these, code Joel10 at Eastwood. Doesn't matter if you need one of these guns, a welder, doesn't matter. You can get a discount on everything. Make sure everything is wide open. Let's get our blue laid down. This isn't necessarily the hard part of this job. The base color is, I mean, it's the same as any other blue, you know what I mean? You just got to do that transparent mid coat layer. We're just going around our edges right now. I'm gonna probably tip this towards me because then I'll be able to see a little bit better. Like that. So I want to make sure I can get in these little grills, you know what I mean? Alright. You know, I made a video not that long ago when I was spraying a bumper and people were giving me crap for like overlapping on big holes like this. It's just, you know, I'm so used to painting that even if it's not a solid panel there, I'm gonna just paint like it is. Just how I do it, man. Does it waste a little bit? Probably. but it just comes out uniform. I don't know, it's just what I'm used to doing. Like, I will say that this blue color it's a cool color, don't get me wrong. I just think it's on the wrong car. I don't think a Ford Focus warrants a 3-stage blue. That's just my... I've owned a Ford Focus ST, you know, I like the STs and the RSs, but a base SE, nah, don't do that. I wouldn't even waste time putting pearl whites on base models. It just doesn't make any sense. Just makes everything more expensive, you know what I mean? Alright. Again, this one's gonna be pretty easy. I just got to get my coverage on here. I'm going to do individual coats today. I'll probably start the dehydration on this one and then do my second once it really starts to flash. But that's the nice thing about 9K is you can kind of do either or. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be applied all wet on wet. You can do individual coats if that's what you're comfortable or that's what you feel like doing that day. It's a pretty flexible base coat if I'm being real honest, because you can spray it a million different ways and it just works. I also had somebody saying that they would, oh, I'd never use waterborne paint, it's not durable and this and that and the other. I'll be real honest with you guys, I've sprayed waterborne, this Ultra 9K, I've sprayed TBG EnviroBase, Sunfire Pro, Deltron, Chroma Premier, Chromax Pro, I mean all kinds of different paint lines. And waterborne seems to be the toughest out of all of them. And really it's the same toners, the only real difference is what's carrying it, right? So like your base coat carrier is water based rather than a solvent base, and it just seems to adhere a little bit better. It takes a little bit of a finer prep, but waterborne just to me is superior for a lot of reasons. Alright, I'm gonna let that start to flash and we'll do a second coat. This one I'm gonna blow some air over. Get my little blowy thing. This guy. But yeah, waterborne is just one of them things, like the old heads of course don't like it because they're not used to it. Solvent is good, but you can make it work. Waterborne just clearly covers better. Color match seems to be better a lot of times. I mean, there's just a lot of things that water does better. It definitely isn't as forgiving, I feel like, as solvent. And you have to be set up for it. So heat and good air movement, otherwise it's definitely not the move. But for a production standpoint, water's the move. It just, you see how fast this is drying. Clearly, solvent, oh yeah, solvent will be done just as fast. Cool, but then you have to worry about all the solvents causing your clear to die back. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it. But for us, I mean, waterborne just makes perfect sense. Alright, that's flashed enough for round two. Actually, I'm gonna get this a little bit more. I just want to start seeing it flash off. Alright, that's better. There we go. Round two. Where's this thing going? I got too much crap going on in here, man. I don't know if you guys are like me, but most painter buddies that I got have ADHD. We're all squirrel brained. If you relate, let me know in the comments, because oh my goodness, some days I even impress myself. I think that's part of the reason why I end up ranting on a lot of these videos, is I got a lot to say, but I don't know how to get it out all in one shot, you know? I'm telling you, this Eastwood gun just lays whatever you want to lay down. Lays it down great. If there's one thing that I wish that this gun had, was maybe a slightly larger fan. Like slightly. I don't need it massive. I'm not one of those guys that wants a fan that's 2 feet long, but it wouldn't hurt this gun to have just a little bit wider fan. You would sacrifice some speed with that, but you know. Alrighty. Make sure we're covered. The one thing that always threw me off when I first started spraying water was how thick and chunky like the base cut always appeared, but then it would flash off and be silky smooth and flat. So if you see orange peel in this base, that's not a big deal. It's going to just flatten itself out. And again, see how it's like starting to dry in areas? That's exactly the perfect time to do your second coat. With 9K, don't do this with solvent, but with 9K. If it's starting to flash, you're good to go. Just go ahead and smack your second coat on here. Now, I suppose I didn't say it, but I'm using that 3M gun, 1.3 fine finish tip. It just seems to work real good for me. This is another gun that just lays stuff down. I don't know if you could tell how fast I'm moving, but the fine finish just gives it that speed that this thing was missing. Oh yeah. Hopefully I'm gonna have enough paint here. I feel like I'm running a little bit low. I still have to control coat this. I might have to mix more, I hope not, but let's see. Oh, no, we're good. Never mind, I lied. Alright, so at this point, that one just needs to dehydrate and then I can control coat it. This one I need to dehydrate, control coat, and then spray my candy. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to dehydrate. So I got all the base coat flashed off, and I did notice there's just one little chunk of stuff right there. It's super simple. Again, this little K800, all you need to do, lightly sand it. I'm not pushing down really hard, really light. Could even go one way. Little tack rag. You could do little circular motions, however. Waterborne base coat's never fun to sand because it is a little sticky, but once you get it, once you get it and you can't feel it, just like that. Now we're gonna dust some base over this, get rid of that sand scratch. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a light first coat, like this. Okay, I'm gonna dry it. That's gonna fill any of that 800 grit. One more light coat. Okay, dry it. Should be able to just see that that's filled it by now. Yep. There we go. Okay, we're gonna dry it, and then it'll just control coat the bumper the rest of the way, and that's that chunk of dirt gone. It's as easy as that. Okay, now we've got the blue candy in here. This is a Porpoise PRD 627. It's got a split tip, kind of like the Iwata's, a 1.3. These are now available on TikTok Shop, which is kind of funny. Easy way to get a hold of them. They are a Chinese-made spray gun, but I'll tell you, they work pretty dang good. Oh no, I need my regulator. Hold up. Give me just a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. It's in my pocket, isn't it? Yeah, it's in my pocket. What did I say? Squirrel brain. Get out of my pocket. Where are you? There you are. I feel you. Okay. Oh my goodness. Today, boy. We're gonna go with 29 psi on this bad Sally. Yeah. 29 psi. Full fan, full fluid. Porpoise PRD. This is that blue candy layer. I'm going to do 2 coats, but because this is clear base, this stuff can sag fairly easily. So the way I'm going to do this, I'll do 1 wet coat, dehydrate it, do my 2nd coat, and then I'm going to drop coat into that 2nd coat just to make sure I smooth everything out as best I can. This isn't a super strong mid coat, so it shouldn't be too bad to spray. And yeah, I know some guys wouldn't fart around with any edges, but I'm not some guys. I'm built different. It'll be a little messed up, but there we go. Let's go ahead and get the party started, Dave. Like I said, 1 wet coat. We'll dehydrate this. Whenever you're spraying these mid coats, man, try to be as consistent as you possibly can. You could get these going blotchy in a hurry. I tell you from personal experience, it is not fun when that happens. Not fun at all. Because then you're laying down your ground layer and restarting, because once it blotches, there's no coming back from it. Might as well just start fresh. See that tight overlap on there? Alright, let's get this dehydrated. Then we'll do our 2nd coat. Get our 2nd coat on and then drop it. Like I said, immediately after I get through with the 2nd coat, I'll turn my pressure down, drop coat it. It just smooths everything out. I do the same thing on 3-stage red with my mid coats. Here we go. Nice tight overlap, guys. Nice tight overlap. I knew there was a body man watching me. Every time. And then they wonder why I'm so squirrel brain all the time. Because these body men are like toddlers. They don't leave you alone for a second. Hey man, I need this. Hey man, I need that. Alright, drop the pressure. Drop it. And this isn't like the super crucial drop coat that like your metallics and stuff would need. This is just to finesse and make sure everything looks nice and smooth. Because there is no pearl, no nothing in this layer. It's all just transparent blue candy. Alright, that's it. That's it for base coat, guys. That was a whole lot of base, but that is it. Okay. Alright, let's just go ahead. We're going to quickly control coat this. Ain't no thing. Nothing to it but to do it. I will say that I'm impressed with the Sherwin camera on this one, because the computer came up with this formula. I made a spray out card of it, and it matched the fade of this red really nice, because when it faded, it oranged it up a lot. I don't know if you guys can tell that this is a pretty orangey red, but the computer freaking nailed it, man. All right, let's go ahead, hit that flash cycle for a good 20 minutes so this blue can go ahead and crust up a wee bit. I'm pretty happy with that, man. It's nice, it's even. It's a goofy color, but I think we're gonna be fine. Let me go hit that flash cycle, guys. I'll bring you in here when we got clear in the gun. That bumper came out great. This one's going pretty smooth, so there ain't a whole lot of drama in this one, but I will say that I dislike blue candies, man. I mean, color matching them, y'all seen it. Like, you could probably see it from here. It's just not great. It's not great, but thank God it's just a bumper job, because this one looks decent. I ain't gonna say it looks amazing, because it don't, but it's a 2014 Ford Focus with 190,000 miles or some crazy amount like that. I'm surprised it didn't total, but you know how it goes. Let's flash this and I'll turn y'all back on when I got clear in the gun. All right, that's good and dry. We've got the Scola loaded up. 1.2 DVR Clear Pro. This setup, I mean, that's just been my workhorse. I've been using it since it came out, since I got it. And I always end up going right back to it because it just works. Excuse me for the shaking. Now we're gonna set this at 28 and just get these jobs knocked out, man. This one came out just fine outside of the aftermarket cover. I mean, even that came out okay. So we'll do 2 coats of this and that's it. There's no drama today. No drama, just spraying some 3-stage blue. I bent that? Nope, that's why. Can always tell when that vent is closed. This really is a beautiful color. It's just, like I said, guys, I don't see a point to Ford putting it on a Ford Focus, but you know, they know something that I don't, I guess. Would be a really cool color on like a classic car, I think. Kind of a pain in the butt to spray, but I'm just glad that this one's over. I knew the second that I seen this job that it wasn't going to be a fun one, and I was right. Thankfully this red one was no drama at all. This is honestly a really pretty color. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big fan of red. It's kind of cool having 2 colors that kind of pop in the booth today. It's a nice change of pace from everything being silver or white or, you know, just a boring gloss color. Okay. And I did use US 4 in this clear coat, so this stuff should kick off pretty quick. But I'm gonna basically just run back in the mix room, mix up just a wee bit more, come back out, smack my second coat on. I'll show you guys what this looks like with 2 coats clear. 1 coat looks pretty good. 2 will just slick out, so give me just a sec. All right guys, that's 2 coats clear on both these bumpers. These are looking super duper glossy. Just gorgeous. This one, for an aftermarket bumper, boy, that looks pretty dang good. But I hope you guys got some value out of today's video. I know there's no drama in this one. Nothing really went wrong. But that's how I go about spraying 3-stage blue. And just, yeah, some of these colors, man, they can be a real big challenge. This one, as you can see, I mean, there's no blotchiness in it. There's no nothing. It's just nice and even. That's one of the things about waterborne base. Waterborne base just makes these 3-stage colors that much easier. Honestly, I'm surprised that we haven't had a base clear formula for this yet, but yeah, we probably won't because it's so old at this point. But anyway, links to everything that I showed you guys in today's video, including tools, these paint suits, everything like that, down in the description below. It's just in my link tree. I have links to all kinds of good stuff, so definitely check that out. And again, code Joel10, eastwood.com for anything on the site. If you guys need welders, if you guys need tools, product, paint, anything, it knocks off 10%. So use it to your advantage. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you on the next one.